to radio, the remix in your soul. Indie beats and killer comedy, taking control. Got that rhythm, got that wit, a perfect blend from the start of the show till the very end. Spinning tracks, you never thought.
Good afternoon, everyone, and tonight on Take Two Radio, the remix, Anthony and I are spotlighting the driving force behind the band Midnight Sky. He's a musician bringing passion, power, and storytelling together in every note.
Tye is a guitarist, a songwriter, and the leader of the band, and we are really excited to get to know him and his process and his music tonight.
We'll go ahead and get started with the questions if you're ready for the onslaught.
Okay.
Just kidding. There's going to be questions, but we're not going to attack you in any way, shape, or form. When did you first realize music wasn't just a passion, it was something you needed to pursue seriously?
I started songwriting when I was a teenager, and I kept songwriting for decades. I'm a lawyer, so a lot of my time was spent, practicing law. And then in about 2008, I was on a trip with a guy. He was a periodontist from Charleston, South Carolina. And he says, "Hey, man," he goes, I just recorded an album of all original songs. And I listened to it. He wasn't a very good songwriter, but I thought, I could do this. So I rounded up a couple of my musician buddies and met a sound engineer and recorded a couple of songs and thought, these sound pretty good. And before I knew it, I had 11 songs and released Dark Stretch of Road, which was the first album.
So let me ask you, what inspired the name Midnight Sky? I know that you kind of work with revolving musicianship. So can you tell us a little bit about the name and how the band is comprised?
Okay. There's a line in a song called Appalachian Lullaby on the first album. It's crescent moon in the midnight sky. And I was just thinking about that line. And I thought, Midnight Sky, I didn't know of any other bands named Midnight Sky. I think there are some now, but you can't copyright a band name, so that's nothing that I can allow to bother me. As far as the musicians are concerned, I've got a core group of people in town here, and I've also got a core group of people that they basically live in the Chicago area, especially when COVID became such a problem. Getting together in the studio was, well, for a while, it wasn't even legal. So I started doing more and more things remotely. And the third album, Last Hope for the Modern World, was done completely remotely. And again, I got a few people that tend to show up on everything. And every so often I'll need an accordion player or a harmonica player or something. And we just go out and find somebody who's really good. Occasionally I've used Toby Keith's steel guitar player. So it's just finding the right person for the job.
That's awesome.
It's so interesting how music is made these days, with a lot of it being done digitally, and you don't even have to be in the same room. What do you think about that? I mean, I know it makes it easier for you in a lot of respects, but do you kind of miss the, everybody getting together kind of thing and working it all out?
Yes, I miss that some, but I have to balance that against the fact that I typically, when I'm doing it remotely, everybody gets paid a fixed sum for whatever they have to do. So I'm not sitting in a recording studio with somebody who's intoxicated and doesn't know the work. And, the clock's ticking, the studio time's running, the engineer's time's running. This way, I don't have to deal with any of that. And I tend to get, I think, overall a better result although I do miss the collegiality of being together in the studio.
So can you tell us a little bit about your songwriting process? Does it start with a melody? Does it start with the lyrics, a vibe, or a grab bag of all the above?
I've been asked that a lot. My answer is I really don't know. Uh, Typically, I think one line will come into my head, one line that just seems kind of interesting. Like I thought Last Hope for the Modern World was a really just sort of an interesting line. I named the album before I wrote the song, but Dark Stretch of Road, there's just these lines that I think there's got to be something in here. I just need to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And usually, maybe I'll get a little bit of the lyrics in my head, sit down with the guitar, start working through some chord changes. And then a lot of times I'll just sit on a typewriter. I'll knock all the lyrics out, subject to a little bit of editing later, and then I finish the melody. So it's not always that way, but that's the best explanation I have for how most of these are written.
I'm imagining the melody starts coming as you're writing the lyrics, and then you can kind of play off where the verse structure is going from there.
Yeah, I kind of take the Neil Diamond approach, three chords. I don't know if you know who Harlan Howard was. He was a famous
Mhm.
country music songwriter, and he said country music is three chords and the truth. And some of my songs, three chords was enough. Other times, the more I play it, the more I think, I need a minor there, or I need, something just a little modal right there. So some of them stay real simple. Some of them get a little more complicated. It's just a matter of feel and intuition. There's no rule. It's just I got to get the song to the point where I think it sounds the best I'm ever going to make it.
I would imagine that's probably true for every songwriting person out there, when they're putting something together, just and maybe a lot of times just one part of the song will pop in their head and then they'll get home and they're like, okay, what do I do with this? Or put it away for later so that they can, work on it when something else pops in their head too.
Well, there's a
Now,
song on. Go ahead. Sorry.
oh, no, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, there's a song on the latest release, just before dawn, called "Straight at the Sun." We just released that as a single. The chorus to that song was probably written 25 years ago.
Oh,
And
wow.
once a year, I'd pick it up. I'd try to write a verse. It just didn't sound right. And then a couple of years ago, all of a sudden, I just knew what I needed to do, and I got it done.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I mean, 25 years and you still remember that song. And it had to be in that little corner of your head saying, please finish me or
I,
something.
I
I'm
felt
ready to
like I
be
had a
born.
I felt like I had a really strong chorus, and I think because of that, I just didn't want to create verses that sounded like afterthoughts. They had to be as
Right.
strong as the chorus, and it took me that long to make it all come together.
Yeah. Now, is there a particular song in your catalog that feels especially personal to you? And what makes that one stand out?
Oh, there are a few. I got to be careful talking too much about them because I never know who might be listening. But
Right.
I mean, Dark Stretch of Road is very personal, um, because I mean, there's a literal part of it. There's a truck driver who's in a snowstorm and he's lost and he doesn't know if he's ever going to find his way home. But it's also, I think, obvious to almost any listener. It's metaphorical. He's lost spiritually, and that was one that just about wrote itself. Unlike the other one, I think I had that pretty much done in an hour.
Mm.
I'm going to switch topics a little bit and talk about the independent artist experience. What has it been like for you, and what have you learned throughout the process about music making and about yourself as an artist?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
I don't think I needed to be taught that lesson. But when you're
Yeah,
actually trying to make some sort of progress as an independent artist, you just realize how difficult it is. There are there's just an untold number of really talented people out there, a small fraction of whom will ever get any sort of, let's say, national recognition. Uh, I got lucky in 2024. I got Last Hope for the Modern World was nominated as Album of the Year at a couple of fairly prestigious independent music awards, the ISSA Awards in Atlanta, and then the Josie Awards at the Grand Ole Opry.
Nice.
And the cool thing
yeah,
about that is, uh, most of the people I play my stuff for, they're acquaintances, many cases they're friends, and so I don't expect to get like a fair criticism from them. Yeah, I could play anything and go, "Wow, Tim, yeah, that's great." But when people
it's
who don't know you couldn't care less if they hurt your feelings and have some professional credentials, and they pick you out of like thousands of entries, that's a lot of validation.
absolutely, and congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Now, what message or feeling do you hope your listeners walk away with after hearing your music? And how would you describe your music to people that haven't heard it yet?
Well, I keep hearing that it's basically Americana. I'm not even sure what that means. I think it tends toward country. Some of the songs are clearly country. Others, you know, there's a little more rock in there. I think that I've pretty much written country stuff because, one, it's melodically simple. It's really the lyrics that matter more than anything else. And my goal so far unfulfilled has been to actually sell a song to a, hopefully a famous artist who records it. And there's still a lot of country singers who don't write their own stuff. So I kind of
Mhm.
look at that as being, more of a fertile field for selling a song that it might be, you know, selling to rock bands, because they're pretty much, ever since the Beatles, they pretty much write all their own stuff.
Well, let me ask you, it's a big mix of business and artistry. How do you balance, the artist in you and stay true to your artistry while trying to navigate the business side of things? And of course, throw in social media, because without the presence, the rest of it is just your own musicality.
I don't worry about it. I don't. Well, I've never been in a situation where anybody asked me to do this, I don't think, but I, I, I just write what I know, and I write what I hope other people will like. I never sit down and go, well, oh, maybe if I inserted this lyric, a certain type of audience would be interested. Now, what I do avoid, it's interesting. The new one, Straight at the Sun, it has a little bit of political overtone, but it doesn't take any kind of a position. I do have, like most people, I suppose, I do have, political ideas and so forth, but I just have never expressed those in the music that gets published. If you're really famous, if you're Springsteen or Neil Young, well, you can afford to tick off a whole bunch of people and you still got a career. Uh, I, I,
Mhm.
I'm just not interested in starting something. I have great respect for people that are out there trying to change the world through their music, but I'm just not one of those.
Now you're better off staying neutral because the landscape changes day to day and you just don't want to get stuck in, one rut because of something you put out there, right?
Right, right. That, and the other thing is, think virtually all my songs are at worst PG. It's not that I'm a prude, but I don't like the idea that some little kid's riding around the car with his mom or dad going, what's that mean? What's that mean?
Yeah.
I don't, you know, if you say, what's that mean? It's going to be about something that's just completely benign.
Right.
The explicit lyric rating, that's for other people. It's not for me.
Well, the funny thing is, with you mentioning that, it makes me think about when I was a kid and when I listened to music. And even nowadays, and I'm not so young anymore, I listen to music just because I like the melody. I like the sound of it. I like, some of the words, of course, will catch your attention, things like that. But it really don't get deep into like what's the meaning behind this song. Only, I would say, in the last maybe 5 or so years, maybe a little bit longer than that, did I understand what Black Sabbath was, Ozzy Osbourne was talking about in some of his music. And growing up with that, I didn't think about that. I just like, oh, that's a cool song, and I'm a rocker and I'm going to be rocking my head and singing along. But I didn't really think about the words.
Well,
But
this is a slight paraphrase, but Dylan said once, he goes, listening to a song is an experience. And he goes, the more you focus on what the words mean, probably the less experience you're going to have.
right.
That's from a guy who is, he's perhaps written more words than any other composer. But I kind of get it because he's always been an enigmatic figure. Sometimes you don't know whether he's pulling your leg or whether, the audience is kind of the butt of the joke. But I thought that was interesting because people, of course, have like hyper analyzed everything he's ever written. And what he's saying is, save your energy.
On the flip side of that for a second, I got to ask, is it difficult, interesting, completely exciting to hear your songs being, done by others?
Well, that's what I'm waiting for, you see. Everything out there is Midnight Sky. So, yeah, I'm waiting for that day when someone, they don't even have to be famous. Just someone says, I want to record your song. I would just, I'm the co-producer on everything I've ever recorded, which fortunately I have a co-producer who keeps me from going off the rails. But I think it would just be fascinating to hear someone else's take on a song because almost any song can go a number of different directions, not just the one I pointed it in.
Who's the dream artist? Who would you love to hear your words coming out of?
Well, Springsteen.
All right.
Sometimes he does covers occasionally. Just about any, I'd love to hear like an old line country artist do it, but like Willie's about the only one left. So that's not likely to happen.
Well, they keep killing him off online, but yeah.
He's still around.
God bless.
I don't really worry about that. I just somebody who's got some fame, somebody who's, sold a few 100,000 records. It would be, there's an old story about the Beach Boys. Their first single was called Surfin', and it was on a local label. And they didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And Carl Wilson's driving his car down the road, and Surfin' comes on the radio, and he said, I was crying so hard I had to pull over.
I would imagine.
I would love to experience that moment.
Yeah. Let's just hope you're not driving though.
No.
So what's something about you that fans would be surprised to learn?
Well, some of them are surprised to learn I'm a lawyer. I get this right brain, left brain stuff like, oh, Tim, your whole brain works. Well,
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, I guess it does.
I
I've
love
done,
that. You can take care of the legal stuff of the music too, on your side. So there you go.
yeah, yeah. One thing that people have asked is like, how does one affect the other? And my answer is, in both cases, every word counts.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
writing completely different things, but you're writing a legal brief. Every word counts. And when you're writing a song, of course, in a song, you have a lot less time to make your point. Every word counts. And I know it sounds like people listen to lyrics and go, well, that was, that's obvious, or, it shouldn't have taken much effort to write that line. But that's one of those things that, I'll listen to it, and I'll go, that could be a little more specific. Or I think this word would work a little better. Occasionally, after something's been recorded, I have that thought, although not often. I've been generally very satisfied with what we've done and released. There's nothing out there that I wish we hadn't. A couple of songs I think could have been shortened a little bit, but otherwise, I'm pretty good with what we've done so far.
So we're going to hear the new single in just a few minutes. What can fans expect next? Is there going to be some touring, any special events? Are you going back into the studio?
I've always got something going in the studio. I've got a couple of things going on right now. Yeah, I may do a little touring when the weather gets better. Right now, I've just been, I've been concentrating on the law side of things. So, and this is also award nomination season. So, I had the new album come out last year. I'm kind of hoping that I get, maybe another shot at Nashville, but, we'll see. Only the powers that be can decide that.
Absolutely. So tell the fans where to go to get your music, and if they want to interact a little bit, drop the socials and all the good stuff.
Yeah, I have a website, midnightskymusic.com. I'm on all streaming services. My email is ttye53@gmail.com. I'm going to go a step further. My phone number is 937-305-5800. Call me. I don't mind, please.
Absolutely. All of you people out there that want music, Tim's your guy. I just love that. Are you on social media at all?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I assume you know Mike Stover because he set this up.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so Mike's my guy. He gets on and he's always putting new stuff on Facebook and so forth. And I'm glad to have him. I don't really know much about that. And he, I don't know if there's a schedule or not, but there's always something new and different popping up. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, Mike is awesome. I just love his talent. And anytime he brings something new to me, I'm there for it. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you joining us today. We look forward to more music from you, and get those awards, dude.
Absolutely.
I'm working on it.
Before you go, tell us a little bit about Straight at the Sun, the song we're going to hear in just a moment or two.
Like I said earlier, it was a long time in the writing. It's I'm not sure exactly how. There's sort of an irony to it that everybody says you can't look straight at the sun, you'll burn your eyes. But the notice of the song is sometimes you have to do that to get to the truth. Sometimes you have to experience a certain amount of pain in order to understand what's really going on. And that's the message of the song.
Try your best to do what's right. Some days you're happy, some days you're blue, hoping that at least one dream comes true. And the ones who know better say never look straight at the sun, 'cause the light's too intense for the eyes of a suffering one. Sometimes you got to get burned to see through the light, and it feels good to have the sun in your eyes. The cost of greed has been revealed. The golden rule has been repealed. You toss and turn and try to sleep, 'cause no one tells the truth when a lie's so cheap. And the ones who know better say never look straight at the sun, 'cause the light's too intense for the eyes of a suffering one. Sometimes you got to get burned to see through the lies, and it feels good to have the sun in your eyes. Don't look up, don't look down, that's not where the truth is found. Here comes the hardest part, don't let them get their hands on your heart. And the ones who know better say never look straight at the sun, 'cause the light's too intense for the eyes of a suffering one. Sometimes you got to get burned to see through the lies, and it feels good to have the sun in your eyes. Yeah, it feels good to have the sun in your eyes.
Well, you can always find us at Take Two Radio, the remix. Thank you so much for listening. Pam, if they want to reach us, how do they get us?
Just yell out and we'll answer. No, I'm kidding.
How about send a pigeon?
Yeah, send a pigeon, carrier pigeon, whatever you want, we'll answer. Take Two Radio, the remix, is on Instagram, and Take Two Radio .com. All this, anytime I say take two, it's with the number two. So all of you are, don't write out the word two. Take2radio.com. You can find information on there of previous interviews, upcoming interviews that we've done already. You can listen to them. I have a Spreaker. What do you call those things? A streaming, thing on my website.
Oh, the embedded player.
The embedded player. There you go. Thank you. You can listen to our interviews right there on the website as well, so you don't have to go searching around for it. Instagram, Take Two Radio as well. And where else? Facebook, Take Two Radio. We don't do the other place.
Yeah.
I think where else? So that's it for now. I've been contemplating TikTok, but I'm not sure about that. Like right now, I've kind of got my hands full with what I'm already doing. And then you can listen to any of our interviews on any of the streaming apps as well.
All right. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, you can also hit up www.anthony.com. We've had a great time today and look for our next episode coming soon.
Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah. cutting through the air. Indie rhythms beyond compare. Pam and Anthony on the mic tonight, bringing the laughter, making everything right. From underground scenes to the digital stage, turning every listen to a brand new page. Oh, take to radio, the remix in your soul. Indie beats and killer comedy, taking control. Got that rhythm, got that wit, a perfect blend from the start of the show till the very end. Spinning tracks you never thought you'd find, expanding horizons, blowing up your mind. Then a punchline drop sharp and so precise, makes you lean in closer, hear it twice. No filter, no pretense, just honest fun. Underneath the starlight or the morning sun, they pick you up when you're feeling low, with a killer riff and a joke to know. Oh, take to radio, the remix in your soul. Indie beats and killer comedy, taking control. Got that rhythm, got that wit, a perfect blend from the start of the show till the very end. Forget the worry, let the good times roll. They connect the artists, make your spirit whole. With every segment a story unfolds, more than just a broadcast, more precious than gold. Oh, take to radio,